Well, congratulations! We've come to the end of the online tutorial on reflective practice. The basic intention of this tutorial is to give you a good understanding of what it means and to recognise there are different perspectives on it, as we saw with Sean and Brookfield. However, increasingly now we have a much clearer picture. Yes, we want teaching professionals to reflect on their practice, in fact any professionals to reflect on their practice, but it must be done with a solid, open thinking process. To say something is good or not good must involve some criteria. And what we're saying in this tutorial is that the criteria are evidence-based principles, such as the core principles of learning that we did earlier in the previous tutorial, and to look at the methods that typically work. But this must be done thoughtfully to the situation that you're working with. And that means the student profile, their level of competence, the type of learning outcomes, and the resource availability. Now you may say, the job's done. I understand reflective practice from an evidence-based perspective, and I think I can do it. And yes, you will, through deliberate practice, right? Because that's how we learn to get good at anything. However, you don't just do one lesson. This is something we do over the duration of our careers. I still do it, and I've been in education for, well, 30 plus years. Now, I might not do it systematically and thoroughly for every lesson, because a lot of times I've done it before and I kind of got there in terms of what works and what doesn't work. But if I do something new, I will often go through that deliberate process. Now for you, over the duration of the CT program, we would recommend that you do a bit of this after every lesson, but where those lessons are more challenging or you're doing new things, particularly do it more systematically and thoroughly. So it becomes part of the way you work. And like anything else, as you get better at it, it becomes much quicker. Now you need to actually capture some of your lessons where you've done thorough evidence-based reflective practice for evidence of you doing this in your teaching, and this will go into your final teaching portfolio. And what you'll be interested to know is that we have another tutorial where we will look specifically at how you can maximize the use of reflective practice in specific situations where you feel there's an area that you'd really like to investigate further in terms of improving your practice. And that tutorial will look at the idea of what's called lesson study and supported experiments. It's all part of professional development in which we as teachers seek to become not just highly effective teachers, but in the long term, creative teachers.